I actually had a counterterrorism expert, former member of the Department of Homeland Security, Phil Haney, joined me with Kamal Salim, who's a former member of the Muslim Brotherhood. We had a forum called See Something, Say Something, where we walked through a document called the Explanatory Memorandum that's filed in a federal court case, the United States versus the Holy Land Foundation. In that document, it identified the goals of the Muslim Brotherhood. And by the way, just because it has the word Muslim in it doesn't mean it's specific to Muslims. It's a political organization. It's actually identified by Muslim majority countries like Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and UAE as a terrorist organization. And you can't say it's racist to go off and call them out and say its affiliation with that is something of concern. So for me, it actually is a concern. And we walk through examples of what their plan is and their term, my term, for civilization jihad in society. And they would talk about different threats. They would talk about an education threat. They would talk about a political threat. They would talk about media threat across the board. And Dawood Walid, I know very well what the media threat is that he can leverage here in Michigan. So I have very deep concerns around that. Obviously, in regards to Dr. Abdul El-Sayed, he's got tangible affiliations with Muslim Students Association, which has been identified as an affiliated organization in that explanatory memorandum. And if you guys go off and look at Muslim Students Association across the nation, you'll find that they've had Al-Qaeda leaders speaking to their people, and they've also found out that, so there's some serious concerns around that, and frankly, this is one of those areas that got me ticked off in regards to the fairness of the media. They pitched this as a comment around concerns around ties to the Muslim Brotherhood as a concern with Muslims in general. Love Muslims, it's not an issue. The issue is with terrorist organizations like the Muslim Brotherhood.
Is Sharia law instituted here in the state of Michigan a real concern?
I do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state. That is the oath that if any of us is elected, we will swear to. I take that oath particularly seriously because it guarantees me two things. A, the right to pray as I choose to pray. And for me, that means that I put my face on the ground 34 times a day. Some people choose not to pray at all. And all of those things are equally protected under this incredible document of ours. But in Article 6, it also tells us that no religious test shall be held over somebody aiming to serve under this Constitution. That is an incredible document. That is what my father came to this country believing in. An ideal that says that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all people are created equal. Now, I knew that when I decided to run as the first Muslim American ever to run for governor, that I would face the ugliness of white supremacy, the ugliness of racism, the ugliness of people who do not understand the oath that they swore to or the Constitution they defend. But the fact is that I serve my country every day, calling it to the highest ideals of this Constitution because it is such an incredible document. So I do not believe that Sharia law is in question in this state. I do believe that the Constitution will always be upheld, and I look forward to doing that myself.
All right, thank you, Dr. El-Sayed. Senator Colbeck didn't want to use his 30 seconds.
Yeah, actually with Shri and also.
Oh, Shri, sure.
First of all, Shri, I didn't lead with this issue. Dr. Abdul El-Sayed and his friend Dawood Walid decided to go out and push this story out in BuzzFeed. So you'll notice you won't see any mention of this on my website. But I'm not going to sit there and be silent when there is a genuine concern out there in our society that we need to be addressing. And just because nobody wants to talk about it doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about it. And Dr. Abdul El-Sayed is very clever. He tries to characterize an issue with a terrorist organization, Muslim Brotherhood, as an issue with race. Listen, I was talking with Kamal Salim, who's endorsed me for my governorship. It's not racist. He was talking about it as a function of his religion. Well, it has nothing to do with religion. Just because he's got the keyword Muslim in it, that doesn't mean it's a Muslim organization. It means that they use that as a mask to go off and do things like he's doing right now, to go off and make it a victim with. No, this is very serious stuff, guys. This is about civilization jihad. It needs to be up in the awareness. We should have an adult conversation, not simple name calling. I'm tired of name calling.
Thank you. Dr. El-Sayed, you want to use 30 seconds? And Shri, okay? And Shri, you can get your 30 seconds first.
So I grew up in this state. And you can imagine going to school with a name like mine, you get a fair share of bullying. The fact is that I just don't pay attention to bullies. It's not worth it. But here's the thing. One of the biggest frustrations that I've had is that the assumption that there should be some sort of association between me and some dastardly group functions simply on the fact that I choose to pray a particular way. It is implicitude that is used to raise the scepter that has everything to do with context. Now, here's the thing. What frustrates me more is not that you have blatant racism on the part of certain people, but what frustrates me more is, in the words of Martin Luther King, is that one of the most dangerous aspects is not when bad people speak out, it's when good people fail to speak out. And what I have not heard is the Republicans on this panel decisively and swiftly call out this kind of Islamophobia, this kind of racism in the context, right, that they are running to represent a state that has the highest per capita number of Muslim Americans in the country. Now, you might not hate Muslims, but I'll tell you, Muslims definitely hate you.
All right, Sheree?